a Jewish cook sliced open a loaf of bread, worth 500,000 marks, then ladled out a bowl of potato soup, and split it among the Jews who'd been starving for 3 days. The German soldiers soon found out the cook had been sneaking extra rations to his people. They raised their whips and lashed him, the blows cracking his skull open. Then they overturned the bread basin, and kicked over the pot of potato soup. Lifting the whip again, they kept beating the cook relentlessly. The other Jews sat nearby, gnawing on bread, watching the cook suffering with cold indifference, burning with revenge and shame. The cook hatched a plan. He prepared a feast to lure a German officer into the kitchen. As the officer lifted the pot lid, the cook grabbed a small knife, hiding it behind his back, and seized the chance to kill him. A grim smile crossed his face. To cover up the truth, he resolved to kill every German officer in the concentration camp, one by one. Soon after, the Jews began preparing. They sharpened daggers from tin, secretly stashed axes used for chopping wood. A young Jewish boy pretended to repair a boiler, sneaking 2 rifles from the armory, hiding them in the chimney to smuggle out later. When everything was ready, the Jews launched their attack. First, they lured a German officer to try on shoes, then struck at him from behind with an axe, but the officer turned just in time to dodge. The Jews nearby rushed forward at once, covering his mouth, then pulling out a small knife to finish him off. But this was only the start. Next, they lured officers to the tailor shop, claiming they had new clothes to try on. As soon as an officer put on a leather coat, the Jews burst out, strangling him to death. Using similar ambushes, they killed 15 German officers one after another. With only one officer left, the Jews destroyed the camp's communication equipment to cut off his chance to call for reinforcements. Meanwhile, the last officer, patrolling the grounds, spotted a Jewish child. The child's mother begged him to spare the boy, but he refused. The woman grabbed her child back in desperation, enraging the officer, who pulled the trigger immediately. When the officer returned to his office, he spotted blood on the door. Following the trail, he found a corpse inside. He realized the Jews were plotting an escape. He hurried to pick up the phone to call for help, but the line had already been cut. He had no choice but to send soldiers to spread the alarm. Realizing their plan was exposed, the Jews scattered in all directions. The Germans opened fire instantly, spraying bullets at the fleeing crowd, but the Jews charged through the gunfire, forcing open the barbed wire fence. Yet outside the camp lay a minefield. Many Jews were blown up the moment they stepped into it. In the end, half of the 600 Jews managed to escape, a miracle in the history of World War II.